Wildfire season in Denver isn't something that you just see on the news. It's something that can really impact the area where you live, your insurance, and even what you end up doing on a random Tuesday afternoon. Listen, if you're thinking about moving to Denver, or even if you've already moved here but you're new, this is something that you really need to understand and even make a plan for. I moved here from Cabo, and I'm used to having over a week's notice if there's a hurricane on the way, sometimes even longer. Fires are different. Wildfires are just a part of life in Colorado, especially along the Front Range, and knowing what to expect can really make a huge difference. There are a few things that I've focused on that I think you need to know. First of all, it's not just a mountain problem. A lot of people assume that wildfires only happen deep in the mountains where there's all this vegetation. That is not true. We've seen wildfires devastate suburban areas, especially where neighborhoods meet open space. That's what's called a wildland urban interface. If you think back to the Marshall Fire in 2021, where we lost over 1,000 homes, that's exactly what happened. The second thing I think you should know is that fires can move fast, y'all. Because of the wind and the dry conditions, fires can spread incredibly fast, sometimes in a matter of hours. That's why even if a fire doesn't start near you, it can become very relevant to your life very quickly. The third thing to know is that smoke will definitely also impact your daily life. Even if you're not in immediate fire danger, smoke can affect air quality across the entire Denver metro area. And if you have a compromised lungs or asthma, make sure that you and your doctor already have a plan in place. So remember, you might not see flames, but you'll definitely feel the impact in your lungs. Fourthly, where you live in Denver can impact your insurance costs, your risk level, and even your future resale value. Wildfire risk is becoming a bigger point of discussion in real estate decisions. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about what we should do if you hear about a fire. Well, the first thing is always to stay informed. Don't rely on rumors or social media posts alone. You need to follow official sources like local news or county alerts, emergency notifications. Information with a fire can change incredibly fast, so accuracy really matters. The second thing that I've done is set up your alerts. Make sure that you have emergency alerts turned on for your phone. Colorado uses systems that will notify you if you're in a potential evacuation zone. The third thing that I've done is something that most people don't think about until maybe it's too late. Talk to your family about your plan. You would want to talk about how we should leave our neighborhood, where we should go or meet up if we're not already together, and what things would we even take with us. Even making that simple plan and having those discussions can put you way ahead. So shifting gears, what do you do if you're told there's a fire near and you're being asked to evacuate? Well, number one, grab essentials quickly. Have a to-go bag ready if possible. That should include your IDs, important documents, medications, basic clothing, phone chargers, and a few personal valuables. And hey, number two, don't forget about your pets. Make sure that you have a plan for your pets. You're maybe going to need food, carriers, leashes, because there are shelters. If you end up in a shelter, that will require you to have those things. The third thing that you need to know is, boy, get out of there early. If evacuation is even suggested, not even mandatory, just suggested, leave early. Waiting too long can mean traffic, road closures, and fewer options. And number four, if you have time, prep your home. If you have time before you have to get out, close all your windows and doors, turn off your gas, and maybe move flammable items away from your house. I know it sounds scary, and please no, I don't say any of this to scare people, only to prepare you. Millions of people live in safety in Colorado every day, year after year. But understanding wildfire risk is just part of living here, like hurricane prep was for me in Cabo. This is something you need to know, and exactly why John and I started our podcast, because there's so much about living in Denver that people may not realize until they're actually here. On our podcast, Getting Real, we talk about the real stuff, the cost of living, lifestyle, risks, and what to actually expect, not just what you're going to see on a highlight reel. If you're thinking about moving to Denver and you want help maybe choosing the right area for your lifestyle, reach out. Of course, we would love to help you. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and check out our podcast for more real world insights about living in Colorado.